Unpopular opinion. Shiny pants should be mandatory on the mountain, period. Today, we head to Reddit to hear the best of the unpopular opinions for Riders Republic from you, the community. Let's stir that salt, shall we? Welcome back to the Riders Report.
Before we get started today, we want to recognize our existing YouTube members. A special thank you goes out to executive producers Bone Crusher 2D, Coach 34, and my mom, and our fans and Fans Plus.
If you'd like to become a member for as low as 99 cents a month and help support our channel, you can hit join below to learn more about perks like early access to the Riders Report, emojis and badges, a members only video per month, sneak peeks, and more.
Well, if you somehow missed it last week, we released our 30-minute interview with Arnaud Rageot, the game director of Riders Republic. We talked about the game, what's coming in the future, replay mode, and so much more. So I highly suggest you check it out like over 1,000 people have so far.
Hey, yo!
Seriously, there's some stuff in there that they haven't announced yet, so you can get some early looks at what's to come. Riders Republic also tweeted that they love reading the feedback that you share daily, so they made a new post saying, "We are curious about what you guys see happening next in the Republic," and there were a ton of replies already, so if you want to pitch your idea, make sure to put it in those comments.
And I'll grab this last one here. You may have missed it, but over the weekend, Gilson Snow, that brand that just partnered with Steep Steep for a limited run of Steep Steep themed skis, their shop burned to the ground last weekend. They were posting about it online. No one was hurt, but the shop is gone. It's rubble. So if you can, and if you are interested in supporting Gilson Snow, a local Pennsylvania small business in the snow sports industry, you can just support them with a follow on Instagram, Twitter, wherever else online, or you could make a small purchase to help those guys up there out. They're supporting us. They know of the game. They are fans of both of the Steep and Riders Republic, so they are one of us. So just want to give them some shout out and give them some love. Glad that everyone's okay up north. The gloves are about to come off. I mean, not really. Like we're going to hype this one up. But as Mitch and I were scrolling through this Reddit post, we realized that the two of us really don't have any real unpopular opinions besides the shiny pants thing up top. But again, a real unpopular opinion, it's just not in my toolbox.
Yeah. And if these things are pretty popular over on Reddit and a bunch of different communities where they ask for unpopular opinions. If you ever browse those posts, sometimes it's recommended to sort by controversial. Ooh. Because a lot of times the highest upvoted unpopular opinions are pretty popular, and that happens a little bit in this. Like, I think the best one is steep landing mode is more fun than manual, which we'll touch on, I believe, but I think a lot of people feel that way. But there are some interesting ones, and this post came from Jox81.
Shout out.
See? No, that was a typo. Jox81. And he started it with, he thinks there should be a balance meter for grinds.
So this is something that you see in like your classic skate games, right? Skater XL. Does Skater XL have one? I know Tony Hawk does. Mm-hmm. Tony Hawk Pro Skater has a balance meter for grinds, which if you're unfamiliar with it, when you hop on a grind sideways on your board, there's a little meter that pops up above you, and you need to keep your stick balanced in the middle there. So it's a little extra, like a mini game basically on your trick. But yeah, that is, I mean, I'm going to take the other standpoint and say, no, it doesn't, because this isn't a simulation. This isn't a game that is focused on those kind of skills. It's focused on your chain of tricks. It's focused on the exploration and the arcadiness of it. So yeah, I'll dissent from this one.
I feel the same way too. I think it wouldn't quite fit with the game. I think you'd then have to have them on butters, and then you'd have to have them on bikes. And it's already in a weird spot between arcade and sim. Mm-hmm. So I think that would just further confuse it. And with the speed you carry in a lot of rails, it would just be a whole nother thing to worry about.
Right. I mean, and this also kind of falls in the same lens of landing modes. Do you prefer manual or steep style landing mode? I'm a steep lander. I love the steep mechanic for releasing, and it kind of helps you out on your trick. If your rotation is completely bogus, then it's going to make you fall for it. But if you're in the wheelhouse, it'll help you land. It provides a smoother run for a less competitive rider. And if I'm using that logic correctly, JOX81 is going to lean more towards the competitive, the competition, the technical rider on a manual landing mode, who prefers, an additional challenge on the grind rails, whereas I'm just here for the experience.
Yeah. I'm curious which one people side with the most. I know manual's best for scores. You can get the best multiplier. And that's what I still have set just because I got used to it. But if you are making videos or just want it to look nice, then steep mode smoothens out those landings a bit more, which can be more fun for people.
Yeah. Right. Something that's also more fun for certain people, I guess. Unpopular opinion from Miss Pictus: mass races without collisions are boring. Someone loves getting in the weeds with 60 other insane people. I'm dissenting as well from this. But you and I were both champions of having a collision-free mass race, so you can focus on your time, so you can focus on the line that you're going to run without having to avoid anybody.
I think the problem with collisions was how they were at the start and still are just kind of unpredictable. So I do prefer it just being like a mass time trial, essentially, with everyone being ghosts and you can get through them. However, if the mass races were much more wild, then I think collisions would be even better. If it just went balls to the wall, Fall Guys type race, then collisions would be a good thing. But right now, no.
Yeah, right. I think they need to reshape how they view the mass race courses. If they do keep collisions on in the realm that they're in now, they need to be wider. Everybody, you can't start with 3 rows. Like, everyone needs to be lined up across, 60 people wide. You go down and then you have like 3 avenues to take. You need to lessen these pinch points so you're not getting bottlenecked and shoving, 30 people through a space that's only 5 people wide. That, to me, ruins the replayability of mass races, where if I just fall out, whatever, I'm done. I can't win, so why am I still here? That's kind of just how I ride those. So I do like having those collisions off, but yeah.
I think I have something in my mind. I don't know if it would be unpopular or not. I've never seen it discussed.
Ooh,
so quick aside, would you like a system where if you time the start of the race right, you get a boost and get up to the front?
I think that
kind of like Mario Kart.
I think that might be fun. I think you might run into an IP thing with that. I don't know of any other. I mean, Formula One, the F1 games has the clutch, where if you hold the RPM right, kind of like Mario Kart, you hit the button at the right time, you get a little bit of a boost. That's just how the car works in Formula One and NASCAR, all the other ones, standing stop races. NASCAR was a bad example, but yeah, I could see that. Some other metric, they need to implement something if they're going to keep collisions to keep people spread apart. You can't have these patches, these clusters of people trying to make it through. It's not kind on the game. It's not kind on the server, and it's not fair to the racers. You still need to leave a level of competition. It still needs to be competitive and difficult instead of just rage inducing. There needs to be some way for you to climb the ranks. It was an unpopular opinion.
This one, I think this might be a true unpopular opinion, but I'm not into the racing community. From Major Air, he said, or she said, that sprint tapping only had upsides for the game. So where you can tap the sprint and keep it going much longer than someone just holding the sprint button.
Right. Yeah. So that kind of, that toes the line between, is it good for everyone or is it just good for racers? Like for the racing community, yeah, probably that was a break. They kind of broke that, or they, at least they found that loophole, and it was quickly patched up, I believe, right? Sprint tapping.
They've made some modifications to it. I think they tried to get rid of it and it didn't fully work, but I don't stay up to date on any of that race type super record setting stuff. I don't think it had upsides for the game because it's not an intentional system, and it doesn't make sense in real life either. Like you can't like just keep pumping the wheel. Like
you only have so much energy stored up in your legs. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't sprint tap to cheat. And I think from their viewpoint, it's a mechanic that makes it something you have to practice to be the best at racing. But I don't think that's the right mechanic to have to be the best at racing.
Right. Yeah. Some kind of, if there was a way that you could work a recharge, and kind of manipulate the recharge, like you said, there should be a mechanic. I do think that there should be a learning curve mechanic that when you get to that pro tier of racer, you do have to learn this very niche thing, this very difficult thing to master. But yeah, breaking the game like that, that's not the right way to do it. Although I could see something similar, sprint tapping or some kind of niche technique that you need to learn on a pro level. If they can get the leaderboards in a ranked league thing going, where the top tier is racing against the top tier, that means sprint tapping is available. It's alive and well. So if you know how to do it, go for it. But if you don't, you're never going to race in the pro league because you've never learned that one thing or whatever that might be. So I could see it having a place in the game, just not overall. There would need to be gates put up around the sprint tapping community, and I think those lap times or, race times should be on a completely different scale. I don't think manipulating a game mechanic that was not intended for that purpose qualifies as a real time. Mm-hmm. You can use cheat codes all you want. You still used a cheat code to get that high score. Not saying like sprint tapping is in the game. I get it, but it runs that same line. Oops. Well, I mean, and we can just ask the community, what do you guys think about sprint tapping? What do you think about mass races with collisions on or off? And lastly, should there be a balance meter on those grinds? Answer down below in the comments. Let us know over on Discord, or you can head to r/Riders Republic and check out that original post by Jox81 and comment there. All of these posts were pulled directly from the subreddit, so you can answer right to the person who presented it. Interested to see what people think, and I do think that you and I need to make another form here pretty soon tackling some of these opinions in the game. Help the community, help the devs, help us make another main topic. Let's head on over to the Riders Roundup. Well, I think someone heard our episode last week. Mr. Water coming out with a brand new video titled The Pizza Delivery Man.
We got a picture last week from someone of deliveries, Didgeridoo, over on Reddit. Yes. With the delivery backpack costume. So he said Brett's Burgers needs an Uber Eats type mission where you pick up a burger and then deliver it somewhere. And that's exactly what Mr. Waters did in this video, where he visits Brett, hops on his pizza delivery bike, and then trucks it through the map up the mountain to deliver a burger to the very top of the Grand Tetons.
We love it. And I mean, honestly, do we put this on the TFG docket?
Ooh.
Do we make a point-to-point?
I could see an event.
Okay, stand by. Tartar Flight Games may be back sooner than any of us imagined. Moving on to Kuno Going Dark. Hustler, a Riders Republic montage, now featuring Hollow Endeavor, yet another one from the GOAT.
Man, when they get together and make videos like this, it's just ridiculous, right? You got Kuno's editing and you got two insane riders in the game just stomping that BMX bike down wherever they want.
It's just too much. It's really too much. They have too much skill for two people. I mean, Kuno's editing, Hollow's riding, Kuno's riding, Hollow's editing. I mean, it just doesn't stop. It doesn't make sense. It's not fair. Slow down for the rest of us, please.
And lastly, from a regular on the channel, we have Zerk Gets Focused with an impossible stunt montage, and he also has some beautiful fisheye lens work going on, so you can watch this as we close out the episode.
Thank you again for joining us for episode 53 out of our first 100 guaranteed episodes of the Riders Report. A special thanks, as always, goes out to our YouTube members, executive producers Bone Crusher 2D, my dad, Coach 34, and Mitch's mom, along with co-producers Fans and Fans Plus.
If you'd like to become a member and help support the channel, you can hit join down below and get cool perks like early access to this show the day before, emojis and badges, members only video, sneak peeks like TFG intros, and much more. You can also just subscribe and catch all of our great Riders Republic content, including the show, our X Games style competitions, and our developer interview that we had. I just have to throw out one more time. Make sure you watch it.
Please do. Yes, please go watch that. Go watch the latest in the TFG series. Director Mode is also out now. Tons of content that you can catch over on Nick and Mitch. If you are listening, watching, consuming this content stateside, have a happy Thanksgiving this Thursday. Be safe. Hope you're celebrating it with people you love. And we will see you next week. Same place, same time, Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern for another episode of the Riders Report. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mitch.
And we'll see yous on the slopes.